Let's just start out by saying Tyler Perry is one of the most powerful and prolific media moguls in show business, who always makes sure black audiences and artists are not ignored. And the new documentary, Maxine's Baby, the Tyler Perry story, explores all the peaks and valleys on his long road to the top, including how his now iconic character, Madea, first burst onto the scene. Take a look.
That Wednesday night, he came out as Madea, and he got some laughs.
Hello?
Oh, hey, girl, how you doing?
The next night, we worked it again. The next day, he got bigger laughs.
Well, I looked at it.
Oh, you look nice too, Miss May.
Thank you so much, Robbie.
By the time we got to the end of the weekend, the theater was full and everybody was hungover. He had completely worked the play. Madea had become the star.
Please say hello to Tyler Perry.
You said hello.
Hello. I tried to say it quietly because I didn't want to mess it up.
That's right. That's right. It's completely
Now,
right.
Madea wasn't supposed to be as big a character as she eventually became in the stage play I Can Do Bad All By Myself back in the 1999s. So what happened that fateful night that we just heard about? What was it? What do you think it was that connected to people?
I think that a lot of people have this kind of character in their family. You know, so everybody, no matter what race, where you come from, everybody knows Madea. And she was so full of wisdom and love and correction. Listen, I'm 6'6" and I love being a man. That was something I wanted to blow up the way that it did. I only wanted to do it once, but to see it take off and then see how it was resonating with so many people, and there was so much love and respect and joy in it. That was a good thing for me. So she's still around. Hello. All these years later.
She is, and you have to do it now.
Listen, as long as people want to see it, she'll be around.
It's just too good. So you say that Madea, the character, was based on your mother, Maxine. The name of your documentary is called Maxine's Baby.
Yeah.
Tell us about that a little bit, about why you named it after your mother.
I didn't name the Galila Bekele, and who is the mother of my child, and Armani Ortiz both directed it, and they had complete creative control. If I didn't like it, it never would have saw the light of day. But they asked me at the end of the documentary, who do you think you are? Are you a writer, you producer, a director? And I said, I'm Tyler Perry, Maxine's Baby. I'm my mother's son.
Baby.
Yeah, that's what's most important to me. And when I'm walking around or whatever I'm doing, I'm carrying her in my spirit. She
What do you
passed
think
in
she would think
2009.
of it?
Oh my gosh, she would be so moved by it and inspired by it, but it would also be very painful for her to walk, as it is for me to walk through my life like that. I saw it once it was finished, and I haven't seen it since because it's kind of difficult to walk through. Yeah.
Well, Tyler, I have to say, one reason I love you is I always say there are people that carry a light that usually become ministers or people of the cloth, whatever, and you, I realize, wanted to be a minister, but I look at you and I think you're not someone that was left to teach the words. You were there to live the words and show by example, and you live every word I've ever learned in my faith and in my spirituality, and you're amazing.
Thank you.
But and you won't. This film I will watch every time I need to find my own power, because I wanted to run laps when I got done. This was it was so well done.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
Really,
I'm very proud of them. They did a great job.
When I met Maxine through all of it, I didn't know her.
Yeah.
But it shows just how much you endured as a child.
Okay, wait a minute. That one took me. But you met. Oh, that.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. How did that hit me that hard? You met my mother.
Yeah.
You met my mother through it, man. That's wow. Wow. Thank you.
It still gets
Oh
to you.
my God.
These things don't go away so fast.
To say that you met her through that it takes me somewhere, because she, this woman endured so much pain.
Yeah.
And she didn't have some legacy, but she had me, and to say that I was able to introduce her to you, you got me there, man. I'm sorry. Lord have mercy. Thank you for that. I appreciate that very much.
From the mouth of blondes.
Yeah.
From the mouth of blondes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, thank you for sharing her, too, with all of us, because her legacy remains very strong in you and your son. But you endured a lot, and I didn't know this either, a violent childhood. And you had a lot of trauma, you had a lot of pain, and yet you say that the work, you created it.
Sorry, guys. I'm sorry. You met my mother through the... You really got me there. I'm sorry. I need to get myself together. Hello. Hell. I'm sorry. We're talking about the... Yes.
If you want to stay with that, you can, because I understand. But here you go.
I don't even know what to say about it. It's
I know
just
you're going. I'm telling you, you're going now here.
Thank you.
I just imagine a woman who's lived her entire life with so much pain. And she was always worried about everybody else. And I think I watched her get sick. I watched her get cancer. I watched her have all of these things because her intention was, are you happy? Are you okay? She never put herself on the list. And she never thought she was important. And she never thought anybody would care. So to say that this documentary that Galila and Imani did about my life introduces her to the world, that moves me, because she was very much that special to me. And I know there are other questions, so please ask me something else.
No, and we are going to keep it heavy for a minute, but I have to say, I appreciate this so much because so many people deal with estrangement in their family, and you were estranged from your father. You see the pain that he caused your family, and I can't imagine how challenging that was for you. But despite everything you went through, you still take care of him, and you make sure that he's provided for. How were you able to do that? Why was it important to you? And do you hope he watches the documentary?
I've given up the hope of him ever doing anything good or having any kind of kindness or love in his heart. I've given that up because he is who he is. And so you have to get to a place where you accept people for who they are. And I've accepted him for who he is. And he has had a tremendous amount of pain in his own life, right? And he didn't know how to transfer it. You know, he was brought to a 14-year-old to raise whose name was May, and she beat the hell out of him. So that's what he did to his kids. So I came along and I was different, and I broke that cycle, and my son is breaking that cycle. So I can't be angry with him because he did some horrific things. But everything he did found its way in my life to make me a better man and a better person. And when I struggled, when my son was born, I struggled. I remember saying, how am I going to be a good father? Nobody showed me how of this. And I clearly heard this still small voice say, he taught you in reverse. Do the opposite of what he did and you have your answers. So, yeah.
But that's why you write comedy, too, I think.
Yeah.
As a counterpoint.
Thank you, Joy. Let's talk about comedy. Yes.
I mean, I understand that because we're comedians here. And it goes against the pain in many ways.
That's right. And part of me discovering Madea and all of these other moments was about my mother, making her laugh when, you know, they had a horrible Friday night and I could come in and make her smile. So those were those moments for sure.
But you know, that's the beauty of moms, because our mothers do everything they can do to make sure that we don't have to follow their path. But they also leave that spark in us, which is why you're able to pass the spark, which is why people are able to see who she was through you, because that's what she left in you. It's an amazing thing. And you know, we are blessed with our mothers.
That's right. That's right.
We are blessed with our mothers. If we're lucky.
For sure.
If we're lucky.
For sure.
But you have
You know, they say that if you had a good mother, you've won the lottery.
I believe that. I believe that 100%.
I believe that too. And she was so supportive. You could tell in the documentary, she was so supportive of you when she lent you that $300.
Oh, listen, she wasn't supportive that day.
She like
when I couldn't pay her back, she was mad as hell about that.
But when she saw your tears, she stopped.
Absolutely.
When she saw your pain. And that's a mother.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So let me ask you something else. Make it a little lighter. Since your 2019 grand opening of the Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta, which are fabulous. The city has become the so-called Hollywood, right, of the South, and a hotbed of film, television production. Everybody's making things there. You've basically remade Atlanta, in my view. I was lucky enough to be there that night and see Whoopi christen the soundstage
the Whoopi Goldberg
that you
soundstage.
Named after her.
That's
so
right.
that was
That's right.
amazing. It was amazing to see. And now we learn that you're really doing a lot to foster the next generation of talent in communities of color. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think that, while everybody's talking about Oscar So White, and I thought, okay, you guys go ahead and hashtag, but I'm going to go to Atlanta and do something that's that I think can actually change the business. And what changes the business is ownership, teaching more people how to own, bringing more people in that look like us so that there's more power in the room. So that's where I felt where I would be more effective. And rather than complaining about the problem, recognizing the problem and also bringing a solution to the table. So that's what I tried to do there and still trying to do. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, you're doing it well.
Thank you very much.
How does that feel, Whoopi? Have something named after you like that big deal.
Listen, this
was
is
an
a whole
incredible
deep
night.
conversation because you can go to Hollywood and you can see no sound stages named after anybody of color.
Yeah.
Or streets.
Or streets.
Yeah.
It's like when we weren't there. But I know there's a future in Hollywood for us because I've seen it.
Yeah.
This is the future for us. This is it. So that's how that comes. And I'm grateful to Tyler for so many things, but he sees me, which I really appreciate because it's very hard to get seen. When you get to be a certain age or, you're not who people think you should be, you always want somebody to recognize that you're actually still okay and viable. And I tip my dreads always to Tyler because he sees us, and it's not just us. He sees viable working people.
Yeah.
He hires viable working people in Atlanta who want to be part of making the film industry sing, and he's doing it, and I can't say enough about him. And he's an Oscar winner. That's all I'm going to say. Maxine's Baby is available on Prime Video next Friday, November 17th. Do yourselves a favor. Watch this documentary. It is extraordinary and will move you in ways you didn't know you were needing to be moved.